Indian football probably, facing one of its worst times.
But what we lack is good governance, and motivation, ethics to lead, to change, and mean what we say, and bringing all together.
We've been talking about sleeping giant. I saw a post on social media just saying it's a dead elephant.
Situation currently is so gloomy. It was never there in the last 15 years.
Even para teams in Kolkata will put out their 11 that you can watch. There was no official 11 put out. No official 11 even put out on the social media handle that I can see. I had to go to the Bangladesh Football Federation. They put out their 11. This is our starting 11. This is our thing. Nothing was put out. This is the same administration which at one point thought that Xavi Hernandez has applied for the coaching job, and clearly it turned out to be a goof.
You can always lease aircraft, but you cannot lease a runway. Yeah.
Your team is getting humiliated. It's gone from bad to worse. If this doesn't wake up the government, I don't know what will. Well, hello and welcome to this special. I thought that, specials are usually reserved for good days in sport, but unfortunately it's one of those days that doesn't make you very proud as an Indian, doesn't make you very proud as a fan of Indian football, because just when you thought Indian football could not go any lower, it has. What we witnessed yesterday was another loss, and this time at the hands of Bangladesh, a team that is ranked roughly around 50 places below us in the FIFA ranking. Great for Bangladesh football, but as I said, Indian football probably, facing one of its worst time, not qualifying for the AFC Asian Cup. That was a jolt in itself, but now not even winning a single game in this round of qualification is something else. They played 5 games, not a single win to show. They have 1 game left, but that is immaterial. Joining me, 2 very special guests, 2 people who know Indian football inside out. Joydeep Basu, who joins us, who's a doyen of Indian football journalism, I'll say, has been covering the game for the longest time, has also had the pleasure of being an insider, has worked with the All India Football Federation as well. Then I have Shaji Prabhakaran, also someone who's been associated with Indian football for so many years. I can remember in different capacities. He's been associated with FIFA as well, developing the game in India, then head of Delhi football, then the general secretary of the All India Football Federation. Still continues to be associated with the game, though not directly. But of course, who knows, maybe the reins of Indian football go back into his hands. But the first thing, and I want to start with Shaji, because unlike the 2 of us on the panel who watched the game on television and had to face the embarrassment watching it on television, Shaji, I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately for him, was at the stadium. Firstly, describe to us the scenes. What is it that you witnessed, and what did you make of the game in general and India's performance particularly?
Thank you, Nikhil, for having me on your show. Not on a day where we are celebrating, but then we are kind of mourning for something which we were not prepared. But then the game yesterday was really pathetic. I never seen like where India was in a better position to dominate the game and get 3 points. We could have won the game, but then there are from every aspect we were really reacting, and we were not bold enough. We were not fighting the way we should be. Tactically, we were not at the right place, and I don't know, I thought the Bangladesh was under tremendous pressure for this match than India, but then we could not capitalize on the weaknesses of Bangladesh, and we succumbed to, I don't know what kind of pressure it was, or our own horrific errors, and losing to Bangladesh after 22 years is definitely a big historic moment for Bangladesh. I could see what it meant for them while I was in the stadium, while I was on the streets, and while discussing with the football people, fans, and others, it was a big result for them, and they are in a position right now where they can milk this opportunity against India, what they achieve. It will be great for football, but then we have to worry for ourselves.
Yeah, you're right. We have to worry for the Indian team. And Joy, that to you on that. I'm taking no credit away from Bangladesh. They've been on an upswing ever since Hamza Chaudhry has come. They deserve the win. They were clearly the better team on the day, no doubt about it. My question to you is, we were never giants in football, but at least at the SAF level, all my memories as a teenager, then covering as a journalist, you knew SAF was that area you would dominate. Teams would come, the Bangladeshis of the world, the Afghanistans of the world, Pakistan, Maldives, all these teams used to dominate, and we were SAF kings. At least that would give us satisfaction. Unfortunately, you've regressed so much. Even at the SAF level now, you struggle against Afghanistan. Bangladesh has just shown you. Maldives is a great team. Dare I say, Pakistan might upset you, even though their association is all over the place. I mean, what's happened? We've been talking about sleeping giant. I saw a post on social media just saying it's a dead elephant. Forget sleeping giant. It's a dead elephant at the moment.
See, we have somehow lost our hegemony in SAF. There is no doubt about it. And Afghanistan has very wisely gone out of SAF, and they're playing in a different zone now. So Afghanistan is no more a part of SAF. And a lot of their players playing in the lower divisions in Europe, which also has helped them to become a better team. And as far as Bangladesh is concerned, I am coming to your point only. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, the match they played in Shillong, they could have won, which we drew actually. But yesterday, if you look at yesterday's match, it could have been easily our match, India's match actually, because Bangladesh also didn't play much yesterday. They also were an ordinary side yesterday. But we played even worse. We conceded a goal in the 12th minute, and the match was played for 100 minutes, and for the next 88 minutes, we hardly could take the ball to the other box. So after a few minutes, everybody lost hope of getting an equalizer as well. So I think since your question was you asked me about comparing the SAF teams and what happened. See, nothing has happened in the SAF zone. SAF zone has more or less, in my opinion, has remained the same. Of course, Bangladesh is very enthusiastic at the moment, and the entry of Hazma Chaudhry, because he is a crowd puller. They need someone who can in any game you need a big name, so that turns on the things. But in this case, I think in our case, in India's case, if you ask me, which is your actual question, what has happened is a series of administrative mistakes. A series of administrative mistakes have taken us to this level. If you look at till 2023 November, if you look at, Indian football was at an upswing. It was slowly gaining ground, and from a position of say 106 or 107 or something, they went into the first 100. And you see that between November 23 and 2025, the team has started falling. The first thing came was about Asian Games, where we AIFF faltered on several areas, and that was the start of the downfall of the team. The coaches were changed without giving much thought to what the kind of impact it can bring to the game. The coaches were thrown out, support staff, lot of things happened, so many administrative mistakes. And now you took a team which the players, most of them had not even simple match practices, because you have no domestic season at the moment. In any other time, in any other normal season, in November, Indian domestic season would have been in full swing. ISL was on, would have been on, I-League would have been on, Indian Women's League would have been on. Now you look at it, it's a deadbeat. It's a complete lockdown on Indian football. The kind of lockdown we say. So all these things put together has resulted in yesterday's setback. It is sad but not unexpected.
No, I agree. You're talking specifics of let's say the game that happened yesterday. Maybe you're talking specifics in terms of where you were in an upswing or going down. But I want to talk at a macro level. And Shaji, coming to this one, what my larger point is, and I saw a football fan social media post, and that really resonated with me. He said, you know what, I started watching football at 5 years of age, and I thought, by the time I'm 15, Indian football will be amazing because 10 year, we used to have 10-year plans. Then he said, I became 15 and I was like, no, this 10 year has gone. It's another 10 year. Maybe by the time I'm 25, India will be one of the top Asian team, playing regularly. Who knows, challenging for the World Cup. He says at 25 also it didn't happen. Now I'm 35 and Indian football, not from that my 5 years of age to now 35. I remember Sepp Blatter came and said, sleeping giant, that is 2 decades ago. I mean, you're still sleeping, as I said. Yes, Dada is right where he's talking about some big mistakes you made. But the leap that you expect from a country like that, which is growing financially, which is becoming a powerhouse in other facets of, of the world, football just seems to be regressing.
No, absolutely, Nikhil. It was not expected that we will reach this far low, and that too at a faster rate. And it is basically, we never had a structure or a system, where things were kind of, in a good track, I would say. Yeah, there were things happening, many of the things happened, and the expectation was that, we will build a good structure, and there will be, greater stakeholder participation, and we will be able to get to our potential, and perform on the pitch. But unfortunately, we are discussing something which we should not be. But what to say? The thing is that where our foundations are not strong, and we try to build something on a weak foundation, and if there are smallest of errors, it will disturb the pyramid, and that is what happened. And when the governance is not right, is not good, then it also impacts a lot of aspects. So therefore, our current situation overall, if we see, what is that we can celebrate? Yeah. The only thing, last few weeks, the Ryan Williams coming, relinquishing his Australian passport and taking Indian passport to play for the national team was one of the happiest moment, because somebody, an Australian who has done well in life and taking a higher risk to be part of Indian football. It was a momentary celebration for all the fans. But then, we could not see him play. Maybe, we will soon see him play for the national team. But I think we need to refocus on the foundation, governance, and bringing all the stakeholders together to see that how we can reach to expected level step by step. But then somebody need to take the lead and bring everyone together, because we are not bad as what we are going through. Absolutely not. We don't deserve, no football fan deserve to be mourning or because we are not meant for that kind of failure. Absolutely not. As you said, we are the fastest growing economy. We have talent. we have aspiration, we have everything, because I have seen the world, and we don't lack anything. But what we lack is good governance, and motivation, ethics to lead, to change, and mean what we say, and bringing all together. Because we are too divided. That's also a problem, and that is where we see a lot of problem, and we are not addressing the issues what we are going through, and that is again, not helping things on the pitch. Because these players, we cannot put any blame on them, because they might not have performed, but then they are also going through a lot in their mind, because they are not sure where their next dollar will come if the competition doesn't happen. Yeah, it is a high pressure situation for them, and they are taking the field. Itself is something we must compliment them, because it is not easy. Because
I agree.
They have sacrificed a lot to be there, yeah, and we need to really, do something to encourage them, so that they give their best. I think that is what happened. They are not that bad as they performed yesterday. Absolutely not.
No, that I completely agree. I don't think it's going to help us by, blaming the players. They're in a tough situation, as was pointed out. A lot of people, going after Khalid Jamil as well. But even I agree. What is it that he's going to do in such a short while anyway? How many changes can he make when there are structurally so many things wrong? But I go back to that larger point, Joydipda. The same thing, Shaji says administration is issue, pyramid is an issue, we're not, united, we are divided. All these things have been there for last 3-4 decades. I've been listening to. We've tried everything. Nothing seems to be moving. The needle is not moving. Why?
Well, see, at the moment, things look very gloomy, if you look at it. Standing today, things look extremely gloomy, and it's difficult to see a bright light anywhere at the end of the tunnel. Things are moving in it. But as you said, if you look at this current century, Indian football hasn't. I am sure I agree with you. Indian football hasn't gone up the way it should have been. It has not, but it has at least made some progress somewhere. If you start from 2000, in 2001, India beat UAE in the World Cup qualifier and almost missed the second round by only 1 point. It started, of course, there was a series of good players in the team, Baichung, Vijayan, Ancheri, then Bruno Coutinho, all those good players were there, Mahesh Tauri was there. So, and after that, after 2006, Indian team started doing reasonably well. Like they qualified for 3 straight Asian Cup, 2011, 2015, and 2019. This is the first time they are missing after in the 4th attempt they are missing it.
Yeah, but now you have 24 teams, 24 Asian teams, and we can't be in the best 24.
So that's what I say. The situation currently is so gloomy. It was never there in the last 15 years. See, last 15, 20 years, the person who told you, even if I ask you, you always followed it, hoping against hope that something will happen. Something is going to happen. Okay, we have lost to so and so team. Or we also managed to surprise a certain team, which has happened if you look at the records. Because you have some hope. But now we have come to a pass where actually even a person like me who have nothing better to do than following Indian football perhaps, who has also lost hope. Frankly speaking, Nikhil, at the moment I am not only disappointed, I am exasperated actually. I don't know which way to look at. That is the thing. Because if things go this way, then the end is very near. If this goes, there has to be a change. Like you were saying that Khalid should not be blamed. Okay, I agree with you. The first thing, who made him the coach? Why 3 coaches were changed in a span of 2.5 years? For what? Somebody can stand up and answer this question. Why we had a coach who was doing reasonably well? I would not say the great he was doing. He was doing reasonably well. Why he was suddenly kicked out of his job and finally ended up paying in 4 crores? Why? Why you after that you bring a coach who is a part-time coach who is also coaching a club side and also coaching a national side, which is a complete khichdi actually, what you call it in Hindi. And after that you say that we don't have any money, so we must appoint a coach who will accept much lower salary. So you appoint an Indian coach. That's the reason you have given. You advertise, put an advertisement in your website where 192 coaches applied. I went through it. I shortlisted it, so I know. Where 192 coaches are applied and 50 of them are very well known, quite well known in their business. And you don't take anyone and you bring in someone just because he will only accept. See, I am not undermining Khalid. Khalid is I know him for so many years. I have no right to undermine him. But you give a job to someone and at such a short notice, knowing fully well it is not achievable. So what do you gain out of it? That's what I say again and again. A series of administrative goof-ups have taken us to this level at this point of view.
That takes me, because we're talking about administration, just wanted to add 2 bits. I know what I'm going to tell you is not directly related to Indian team's performance, but I think it's a reflection of where Indian football is and where the administration is. Yesterday, the game happened and I missed the start. I want to know India's starting 11. So where do I go? I go to the official handle of All India Football Federation to see the starting 11. That's the basic thing that, club level teams, even para teams in Kolkata will put out their 11 that you can watch. There was no official 11 put out. No official 11 even put out on the social media handle that I can see. I had to go to the Bangladesh Football Federation. They put out their 11. This is our starting 11. This is our thing. Nothing was put out. This is the same administration which at one point thought that Xavi Hernandez has applied for the coaching job, and clearly it turned out to be a goof up. I'm saying it doesn't affect football, but I'm just telling you, gives you an idea of people that probably may be running football. I mean, you guys, both of you, tell us. I mean, because the one thing that we're nailing is the administration is an issue. My question to you is, we are in a situation now where we are saying we want to be a sporting country. Khelo India should happen. Commonwealth Games are coming. We're applying for Olympic participation. We want to show the world we're a sporting nation. If you want to be a sporting nation, how can you ignore the federation that runs the most popular sport in the world? It may not be the most popular sport in India, but you want to show the world we're a sporting nation. It's the most popular sport in the world. Why doesn't the government step in? Why isn't someone looking at how this game is being run and it's been run down? Why is nobody really stepping up to solve things? Both of you, one by one. Shaji, you want to start?
Yeah, I think the government. I don't know. Are they looking into football in that serious way as they look other sports like hockey, athletics, badminton, and all other medal-winning sports? That is what I think. But government definitely is serious to provide helping hand for the sports to grow. That's no doubt, and that is where they have taken series of decisions to support the growth of sport, irrespective of a particular sport. But then, in case of football, I think that is a question I also have. But then what, based on my little understanding, I think football, the expectation from everyone has become something whereby it gets totally unnoticed what is happening. That is what I think today it is, because it is not expected to do something where it brings the happy moments for everyone, and that way it is left for itself to survive, and whereby. But I think, if I can appeal to the government, what I would think, say is that, this is the biggest sport in the world, and it is also one of the, highest followed sports in India. Yeah, and the masses are involved. The fan base is quite high, and there is, the aspiration from especially the youth are very high, and they want to see Indian football rise high, and that is where I think government can certainly look in to say that, okay, we would like to support the growth of football in a far bigger way, and what is that they can do, because they cannot do the administration, absolutely not. They can only support the good initiatives, and they can extend budgetary support and other support whatever they can. Yeah, and that is what I think it should happen, and that is where we can see some hope in the future, where football gets to the track, because we can still come back to the track and get to that line where we can at least see some spark, because our women's football is one good example where they have they are doing better, no doubt. All three teams have qualified for the Asian final rounds. That is a good achievement by these girls, in spite of many challenges, because they face more challenges than the men's football in India, and but they still giving a better result. That definitely they deserve a lot of compliments, and there are not many who support women's football in India, and that is where we see some good bright spots in Indian football, and if government can go all out to support women's football, we can see something remarkable things happening in next 10 years, not in near future, definitely not. It will require good support for women's football, and we might get to even World Cup in maybe next one decade. That's quite possible. But then let's hope government certainly looks into the issues of Indian football and comes forward with something whereby everyone will feel that, okay, our sport is being taken care and it is getting all the required support as it deserve, and that is what my expectation is.
No, that's fine. The women team, I agree, is a bright spot. The under-23 team is a bright spot in that sense. Who knows? There's an outside chance they may qualify for the World Cup this time. Also, they have an outside chance. They're playing the AFC Asian Cup. But Dara, back to that government question to you, because Shaji says that maybe it's going under radar. Maybe they're not noticing it. But listen, there was an issue recently I covered. Indian Olympic Association was in a bit of a mess. The government stepped up. The sports minister stepped up. They sorted that thing out. All the issues between different stakeholders over the CEO, they sorted it out. Why? Because they are bidding for the Olympic Games. They sorted that out. You can see right now your number one league is not happening. Nobody is even picking up the tender to do that. Your team is getting humiliated. It's gone from bad to worse. If this doesn't, wake up the government, I don't know what will.
I think, see, Saji is also right, because if government steps in, things can always be better. Because they have enormous power, they can do a lot of things which a common man or a common committee, current committee cannot. But the thing is that there are, see, first of all, too many interference from government is also not welcome, and IOC or FIFA, they don't like having any interference from the government. That is one danger is there. And secondly, government is ready to help. I felt government was ready to help, because it has been helping a lot of small federations as well. But the thing is that you have to put something on the table for the government to see. There should be a flicker of hope somewhere. But when you find that your team, at all levels, it is being lambasted, it is getting beaten, it is getting humiliated like yesterday it was. Then government also, I think, gets on the back foot thinking what to do about it. See, government, what we are very sure about a couple of things. The government is very upset with football. First, they have demoted them from the priority list. That was one very clear sign that government is upset with football. And second clear sign is that one point of time when government was in cash in kind, government was providing a support of from 25 crore to 30 crore per year. Now it has come down to, I think, 5 or 8 crore. So that was enough of a signal for the football people to know that government support is receding. So, as I told you, to get something on the table, get something, you have to show something. But so far, football, the Indian football, whether from the administrative side or whether from the playing side, whether from the grassroots side, whether from the youth development side, have so far not displayed anything which can ignite your feelings that one day this game is going up. It is gloom all over. So. And maybe, I don't know, maybe government is currently waiting on the wings. They are still thinking that things will improve, or they are just watching which way the things are going. And they might come up with some solution, some action where things will improve. That's all I can hope about. I am not sure about. I can only hope about, Nikhil.
Okay, I know that Shaji, who's in Dhaka at the moment, has a flight to catch. So I'm going to sum up with one final thoughts on this. And this was the other subject that I want to touch upon. Maybe we'll do it for another 5-10 minutes or so. There is a lot of chatter I see amongst, Indian football fans who are as downcast as you and I after what happened yesterday and what has been generally happening. There have been a few bright spots as well. Kafa Nation Cup was that, but then just here and there you get those bright spots. Overall, it's been doom and gloom. The whole suggestion about, because we're talking about Hamza Chaudhary coming in, now you've got Ryan Williams who's left Australia, come here, player of Indian origins to be allowed to be played here. That's the only way out. We need that fix. That's what really fans have to say at the moment. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Maybe we'll reverse the order. Jyoti, you start first, and then Saji on that.
See, that we have been that the only solution is to bring in overseas player. This is something we have been hearing for the last 25 years, and the government law is not that. Which also our former coach Stephen once made a lot of hue and cry about it after losing to against a very small team. I don't remember the team which is. And he said these players all play in American league because they have double citizenship or whatever he said. And we should bring also Indian players, those kind of players, which after Stephen, I think Bob also said a lot of things. Igor said a lot of things. Actually, Manolo said a lot of foreign coaches talk about it whenever they come in India. That's an easy solution for them. But the thing is that when the first of all, till the government law is ready, the government regulation is ready, there is no point talking about such things. That Malaysia has brought 7 outstation players, Hong Kong has brought 8 outstation players, or 2-3 Brazilians are playing in Sri Lankan team, which we get to hear. You also get to hear all these things. Yeah. How does it matter when there is no such law in this country? I believe a few months back, the sports minister made a statement where he gave some hope about it. So see, one Ryan Williams can come and accept your passport. It has happened previously also. That player from Japan also played for India. I forgot his name.
Yeah. Correct.
But can Ryan Williams be a game changer? I'm not sure. He could be. But whatever we have seen in ISL, we have seen he's a good player. That is undoubtedly he is a good player. He is one of the better players. But at this moment, like you said about Hamza Chaudhary has become a game changer for Bangladesh. The other day, of course, I didn't watch the match live, but I saw the recording against Nepal. The kind of goal he scored in the same stadium, That is one reason yesterday you saw 25,000 people coming just to watch him play. So if Indian football really, as we were talking about the outstation players, players of Indian origin playing for, we need a few game changers. Otherwise, see, Nikhil, you have, in under 17 World Cup, you brought three. I think there were 3 or 2 overseas players in the team. Did it create a real uproar, or did it create a ripple even? You tell me. It didn't.
No.
So
no. Did.
So, and one more thing, which we are not maybe contemplating, we are not thinking about, that even if the rule changes, a player who plays in say in Holland or in Netherlands or maybe in England or any other places, even in lower division, would they like to submit their passport and take up Indian passport? Isn't it a bit of a long shot? Isn't it a bit of a long shot? So we have to do with what we have. Why don't we talk about improving our grassroots, improving our youth development? We have 150 crore people. Why don't you try it among ourselves? Instead of easy solution, importing foreign cars and drive it on the market. Isn't it? See, in the 90s, Nikhil, you have also seen, when we used to go to Kathmandu, we used to play a place like Kathmandu, used to be very surprised. Oh, so many foreign cars, beautiful cars on the road. When we had only Fiat and Ambassador, only 2 cars were flying on Indian roads. But what they were doing was not the solution. What we were doing, the actual solution. We slowly came up to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this overseas players I'm not very convinced about this solution, frankly speaking. 1 or 2 will of course add value to the team. There is no doubt about it. But we want to bring en masse, then okay, I don't know. I'm not very sure about it.
No, very valid arguments. Shaji?
Nikhil, I think the fans are giving solutions. They think that that's the best solution based on what we are today. And we have to compliment them. They are all the way shouting for this to happen, because they see some of the countries have benefited, and why can't India benefit out of it? But then unfortunately we don't have that kind of regulations which are we can take advantage of it. But then that way it is, if that happens, we might benefit, but for how long? Whether it is a permanent solution or a short-term solution. Definitely, what I see, it can be a short-term solution, unless you create you can always lease aircraft, but you cannot lease a runway. That is so therefore, unless until we have good runway, you cannot take off or land smoothly. So that is what we have to build our runways, where fabulous talents can take off and they can be global ambassadors for India, and that is what is possible. Because today what we had, a tiny Caribbean country with 156,000 population qualifying for the World Cup, it's like population of Panjim city. If they can do it, why can't we? The problem is we are trying to buy aircraft, but then we need good pilots and runways and good airport management to take off the football in a way where it goes into an autopilot mode, rather than we hit to like Mayday situation, and that's what we keep getting in, and that's where we are losing fans. I tell you, we are losing fans in a big way, and that was demonstrated when India played Singapore in Goa. 2,000 spectator in the stadium. It did send a message to everyone. And I have experienced yesterday in Dhaka. That was not the case say 5 years back or 10 years back when Bangladesh was playing home. That's what India needs to do. Where we can have permanent solution, and we have everything. We have everything. There is nothing we don't have. Yeah, but unfortunate. We keep discussing, Nikhil, these issues, problems, but then I'm sure we will by we finish our life. We will see something bigger to celebrate, where we really don't look into all the negatives, and all pitfalls what we have, but then what are our bright spots in every level in the pyramid. And we have to celebrate not only players but those who transform football, and that is where we need leaders and collaborators. We need more collaborators, and we need to collectively lead to change, and that is where I believe in, because it pains criticizing anyone, system, anything, because I've been part of the system. Therefore, I'm criticizing myself rather than anybody else. That's a fact of it, because people would know what you are talking, man. You were there, and what you have done. This is a fact. That's where the pains are more, because I have seen from inside, what can be done and what cannot be done, but more things can be done. That is what I believe in, and we are not meant to suffer. Absolutely not. We can definitely be an example in many ways. Yeah, and the countries around us has to get inspired from us. Absolutely, and that is the level we are in many things, and football definitely has the potential, but I don't know, we hope, I get some what genie in me to change the mindset of the people who are there in the decision making board, to be like as transparent as as football what we see on the pitch, because football cannot be hidden from those 22 players and the referees and the spectators, right? And that is what we need to see, football in everyone who sits on the decision making board, where they are married to the game, and and they do the right thing 24/7. And if that is the motive, we no way we will struggle. Absolutely, yeah. And that is what I am looking forward. Let's hope this is the last time we are discussing something where maybe next year or in 5 years time, I don't know which channel you will be, which where maybe in metaverse or whatever, and we will be talking to AI. I don't know at that time. So let's see. We will
there'll be an AI.
Celebrate. Yeah, that's what I'm.
There will be an AI anchor.
Yeah.
No, there'll be an AI anchor, but I must commend you to show that sort of optimism, because it's very tough to be this optimistic with what we've been witnessing in the recent past. And I'd have to say that I never thought things will come down to this, but unfortunately they have. But maybe I'll take a leaf out of your book and be a bit more optimistic for the future. But I know you have a flight to catch, so I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much, Joydeep Da, as well as Shaji, for taking our time speaking to us here on Sports Today. I hope this conversation has the desired result. It reaches the people who can, make a difference. I know the two of you were on the other side as well, but I hope collectively, whether it's the fans, whether it's the stakeholders, whether they're sponsors, players, everyone can come together, because it's a beautiful sport. There are massive people in India who watch it. We gave an example of a young country like a small country like Haiti qualifying. So Haiti can qualify, and we spoke about overseas players coming here. I think the number of people that play football in India or follow football in India, yes, it may not be the number one sport here, but if I was to take the whole ecosystem and the universe of football in India, it will be much, much higher than so many European countries I can think of. So there are more people, I'm sure, who play football in India than maybe some of the top European countries. So I think you have the talent to work with. Why do you need someone to be brought in? But on that note, I'll thank both of you once again for joining us. All of you watching, give us a like on the video. If you love Indian football, share it with your friends, and do leave a comment as well. We'd love to know your thoughts as well. For the moment, bye bye from all of us.